Success is actually a lot easier than you think, but it just requires a bit of work. Me and a few of the other boys the other night were having a cigar. A few of the boys that myself and my business partner Aaron, when we moved over to Marbella had met. We were having a cigar, having a chat, and basically just going over why the majority of men fail to succeed. And it isn't because they don't have talent, it isn't because they lack the skills, it's because they just don't give it a good shot. They just don't try. They just aren't persistent and they aren't putting in the work to actually achieve that success. And I see it time and time again. People think it's this almost lottery ticket that you get, that somehow it's all going to fall onto your lap and it's all going to work out. But you've got to make it work. You've got to actually go out and get it. You can't just expect it to all come to you. You've got to go out and get it. And this is what a lot of people fail to realise. But what they also fail to realise is how easy it is once you get to the other side. And when you look back on it. For example, we moved here out to Marbella. We've been here for a few months now. And all it really took was a year of work. A year of sacrifice to really get the head down, to really just put everything into this one thing. And then we're on the other side of it and we're looking back and we're like, granted, every single day we're working 16 hours a day, every single day, literally just brutal, just work, right? But you get to the other side of it and you look back and you're like, it was actually a lot easier than you think. And people think it's this massive thing, right? And it's so far away. But all you've got to do is take that first step and just keep working. And eventually it will work out. If you are persistent, if you are continuously putting in that action, it will work out. And this is what a lot of people fail to realise. So, any of you watching, if you are stuck right now, or you feel like you want that success out of life, it's a lot easier than you think it is. Do not look too much into the long term, into the 1 year plan, 10-year plan, 20 years down the line. No. Just focus on the inputs and what you can do every single day. If you focus on the inputs, the outcomes will take care of themselves. So if you focus on the daily habits, the systems you can put in place to get towards that goal, whatever it may be, then it's going to be a lot easier for you because you're not going to feel like almost like going up a staircase, right? Instead of literally being right at the bottom and you look right at the top and you're like, wow, how the fuck am I going to get up here? Just think about that next step and you do the next step and the next step. And before you know it, you're at the top of the staircase and you're looking back and you're like, holy fuck, that was actually a lot easier. All I had to do was put one foot forward in front of the other. So keep that in mind. But it's difficult. It is difficult. And day to day, you will be thinking to yourself, is this actually worth it? Because you're getting these constant failures, these constant people telling you it's not going to work. Outside noise. And you've got all these obstacles in your way that you're trying to get through. And I experienced it. When I was doing these 16-hour days, I had clients dropping off. I didn't have the systems in place because just everything was going wrong, right? And I was trying to do it all by myself and I was just trying to make it work. But you're going to have these times. But the main thing is, every single time you have these obstacles, have these really super hard tasks that are just so strenuous, so mentally draining, every time you have that and you get on the other side of it, you've got to think, the harder the path is, the less likely anyone will follow. So you've got to think that every single time you go through these things, the majority of the people out there are going to quit. They aren't going to see it through. But this is what's going to set you apart and this is why you are going to succeed. So it's very, very important that you keep that in mind. And every single obstacle you take, because it's not going to be easy day to day, right? When you get on the other side, you look back and you're like, actually, all it took was a bit of work. But day to day, it will feel like you're suffocating. It will feel like you're literally trying to walk through mud, trying to just find some way to get to the other side. And it's going to be difficult, but you've got to remain persistent. And that was the biggest quality for myself that I lacked for years. If you guys look on this YouTube, you'll be able to see me when I was 13, 14 years old doing YouTube videos. I didn't stay persistent. Because if I did, I would have been in a lot different position. I tried loads, that wasn't just YouTube. I tried loads of different business ideas and different stuff across the years. I could work hard, even from a young age. When I was 13, 14, I trained in the gym, I could work hard. But I lacked persistence. And that is is such a good quality to have, and I can guarantee you it is going to make you achieve so much success in this life if you can remain persistent. If you can just go through things no matter what the cost, no matter what life throws at you, and you can just keep continuing on that path, you are going to achieve success. For myself, I was always falling trap of the woman in the red dress. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's a reference to The Matrix. And Neo, I believe, he's walking down the road, and basically there's a woman in the red dress passing, okay? And he is trying to stay focused on this mission. This woman in the red dress walks by, and he looks at the woman in the red dress because it's a distraction, and by the time he turns around, Agent Smith, I think it is, holds out his gun and is about to shoot him in the head. So it's very, very important that with this, the woman in the red dress basically symbolises any new opportunities that come up along the way. You might be on this path right now, you might be starting a business, you might be focusing on a career, whatever it may be, right, that you want success out of. You might be focusing on this one thing right now, and you are going to get these constant new opportunities pop up, these new things that are going to be like, oh, this is the new Bitcoin, this is the new thing to go to, this is the new opportunity here. But you've got to stay so laser focused on that path, and if you do stay laser focused on that path, you will achieve success in that area. But I failed this for so many years. I kept seeing one new thing. I did YouTube automation, day trading, started doing, obviously, filming YouTube, doing that side of stuff, being inconsistent with posting on Instagram, onto those bits as well. And I kept seeing these new opportunities more and more and more and more, and I kept going for them, I kept doing it, and then I failed. And I didn't stay persistent on one area. And it took me years to realise this, but I know that I could have fast-tracked my progress so much more if I had. And I wish I could have told my younger self this. So if you are in the position right now where you're just getting started, or you might be in that position where things are starting to get hard, remain persistent. I can promise you it will work out, but you've got to stay persistent. And I wish I had stayed persistent, because years ago I would have been in a completely different position. Now, obviously, I don't regret it now, because it's made me the man that I am, and I've learned the lessons that I have done to the position that I am now. But if there's advice that I can give you, it is to remain persistent, and I can promise you it will work to your favour. So I hope that was helpful. I don't think there's really anything that I wanted to add to that, to be honest. It's just a case of staying persistent with everything in life. No matter if it is business, whether it's relationships, whether it's your fitness, your finances, your career, all those bits. Stay persistent, and I can promise you it will all work out.